Twinkle, twinkle, fucking why can I not outrun this guy? Where the fucking hell's he go? What's his secret? I don't know. Twinkle, twinkle, fucking shit. Fuck this race, I'm done, I quit! Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, back with another slice of Master Quest. Have I said slice recently? Because I feel like I said it too much at one point and then I kind of got out of the habit of saying it and I'm back with saying it again. Anyway, yes, Master Quest. In the last episode I said we'd be doing more horse nonsense. In this episode I lied. First of all, I want to show this off even though it's completely not relevant. I thought maybe it was a hammer hole, but no, it's a storm hole. So pardon me while I storm into this hole. There's a hole here. And I have a bottle equipped because if memory serves, it's a fairy fountain, I think? Yes, it is. I haven't shown these off at all in the project, but every now and then you'll find these hidden in holes throughout the world. There's one in Kakariko Village that I feel like I should have shown off and I haven't. There's one in the Lost Woods. I pointed out, in a Sacred Forest meadow. There's that square bit in the... There's a square bit with a hole in the middle. One of these is down there. Anyway, I said I'd be doing more horse stuff in this episode, but then I realised it's been, I think, 2 episodes since I finished the Spirit Temple, and I've got about 2 more episodes of Faff, not counting the optional dungeon here, plus I'm going to need bottles for one of the other things that I'll be doing as side things, and I thought, well, I have these fairies, I might as well use them now. Instead of having to empty the bottles to use them for the side quest and then catch more fairies, it makes more logistical sense, so we'll be doing the bonus dungeon in this episode. Plus, as I said, it's kind of the halfway point between the last dungeon and the next dungeon. So, we've got a membership card thing. We're allowed to come in. It just costs 10 rupees. That's surprisingly cheap considering what this dungeon is. And it is, I think, maybe not harder, maybe not easier, just a bit trickier than the non-Master Quest version. And oh goody, right off the bat, some sort of Din's Fire thing, and that's how you know it's the Master Quest version, because, yes, believe it or not, this is one of the dungeons that was changed between the original and Master Quest. Then again, that's not all that surprising, because this is Master Quest and this is a dungeon. Now, we have 3 ways to go. There's straight ahead, there's left, and there's right. I usually take this dungeon clockwise anyway. If you go straight ahead, that takes you into a room full of doors, and is this ice? No, it's not. I thought maybe this would be a chest that has, like, a trap chest that freezes you on contact. In the original version, the middle room of this dungeon has a whole load, and I mean a whole load, of locked doors, and every single room, or almost every room you go through, has a key in it. And then you have to collect the keys, open all the doors, and get to the centre of the maze in the middle of the dungeon. In this version, however, there's, I think, 1, maybe 2 keys, and you have to use it on the correct door. And I feel like there's a good reason for going left and a good reason for going right. I normally go clockwise through here. We're aiming to get, I think, 2 keys and using them, because I intend to 100% this dungeon no matter what. But yeah, each room has shit like this. You know, defeat the enemies. Well, not every room, but rooms have gimmicks. And I meant to jump back, and I sort of didn't in time. That's kind of why I wanted to bring these fairies to this mini-dungeon, but yeah, Iron Knuckles, which were renamed Dark Nuts later in the series, really kind of easy, because we've got the big orange sword, so we can take them out in 3 jump attacks, and don't mind the fact that the table that I'm using to bounce my microphone just made a weird creaky noise. 5 rupees. That would have been a key, but this is Master Quest. Now, is there anything tricky in here? I feel like this is a fairly innocent room. The next room, however, as I recall... Wait, hang on. Navi, you went a funny colour. Wait, is that racist? Is that racist to Martians? I don't remember how you do this room. Because there are these little firewalls here and there, and... Are there not? Am I thinking of the original? There's ice, there's meatballs at some point. I don't remember how this room works, and there's time pressure, and... Yeah, okay, there is a wall of fire. So I was correct about that much, though, at least. If I drop down here... Oh, I have to actually commit to the drop. Well, I'm sorry. And you do have to... Oh, wait, hang on, what? You do have to get all of them in one clean run. So if you run out of time, you have to restart the room. And I'm doing this with no practice whatsoever, so depending on how it goes, I may have to do a first attempt commentated and then cut my successful attempt. No promises. And is this the third or the fourth? I'm really good with numbers. So that's this dungeon. There's a freezer. They surprisingly like the ice in here. That wasn't grammar. I'm sorry, I can't commentate good. It's been a boring day. My brain's not been very much engaged because of the bloody football. I'm not a football person. And so, today's not been a good day for thinking. But then again, that applies to a lot of people, because... Okay, I'm just gonna stop throwing shade right now. Enemies? Are there enemies? Oh, hello. Oh, and Stalfosses as well. Well, it wouldn't be a Master Quest dungeon without them. Well, come on. Fight me. Fight me. Stop being not fighty and fight me. I will slice you. I will cut you like I'm a Pokemon using an HM on a tree. Yes. Who else wants some? You, apparently. Come get some. Die. There we go. God, I've gone from mindless commentary to mindless commentary. Wait, can we do this? I feel like, yeah. Just that there's that grey block there, and I'm just thinking, do we have the capacity to complete this room? I suspect so. Oh, God, we need blue fire. I hate this dungeon already. Also, I just realised there's a nice kind of yeah to the fact that for the first time in ages I'm doing a dungeon without a co-commentator. And oh good, Song of Time, my favourite. Oh, that's blue fire right there. I thought it was just a really dramatic torch, and no, it's blue fire. So I probably shouldn't have got that extra fairy then. Well, I was being conscientious, or whatever the correct terminology is. Now, you might think, well, why have you put that Song of Time block there? What does that achieve? Well... Lens of Truth. I don't really have a better way of saying it. Now, in the original, in non-Master Quest, there's a hookshot target up there, so you can just hookshot your way up. But we don't have that luxury, so we'll just Song of Time it instead, because that's clearly one of the developers' birthdays, because songs can be days. I've made this joke before, and it wasn't funny then, and it's even less funny now. That's just how my commentary rolls. I've forgotten about the Silver Gauntlets, but yeah, so... You need the Silver Gauntlets to get through here, but you might as well have them anyway, because... Oh, these! These are either in the Water Temple or supposed to be in the Water Temple. Sorry, pardon my... I would say ADHD-ness, but that seems like it would be offensive to people who actually have ADHD. But these enemies are either unique to the Water Temple in regular Ocarina of Time, or all of Ocarina of Time, whether it's Master Quest or not. Sorry, I can't brain. I cannot brain. It's been warm, and there have been football things. Nah. And in this room, in the original version of Ocarina of Time, there are some likes, and Now, I've mentioned before, there are a lot of things in this game that I didn't pronounce correctly as a child. And I know I've told this before, because I told this story in Minish Cap Versus. Likes. As a child, I thought, there's no way it's supposed to be pronounced like. So I did consider it as a possibility, but I thought, nah, there's no way they'd call it that. It must be pronounced likey. Not even like-a, but likey. And so that's what I'm saying in my head, and I'm trying to resist the urge to say it, and I have to play the Song of Bloody Time again. Well, if I have to suffer through it, then so do you. Ironically, I don't have to suffer through it because I can't hear the TV. But you know what I mean, I have to play the damn thing, I'm gonna have to listen to it in editing and put in the counter and stuff. I'm sorry, I don't know what that noise was, but it's a noise that I made, and we're all just gonna have to live with that. Now, I would say that I thought maybe this dungeon would take 2 episodes, but while I don't really have a good marker for how much of this dungeon there is left, I feel like I can do it in 1 episode, because it is, after all, a mini-dungeon, and Navi, what have you seen? Don't tell me that's another Song of Time block. Can't go through that door just yet, but there's a hookshot target, so we are A-OK, B-OK, we are all the way through the alphabet OK. Oh, and there's a rotatey spinny. Yes. We have to shoot the eyes of this statue. Now, this actually kind of tripped me up. Certainly when I was playing through the 3DS version, because it doesn't really look like you could shoot the eyes. Like, it just looks like they're a texture. But no, you can shoot them, and they do react. It's just, if you miss them, they don't react, because you don't hit them, and... Ugh. Last episode proved that I'm not good at archery. Well, archery in motion, anyway. Fortunately, I don't think there's a time limit, so you can take as long as you like to shoot all the eyes. It's no big deal, human. And that makes the thing stop... That makes the platform stop rotating, so it could spawn a chest on it, because if this platform was still rotating, they wouldn't be able to spawn a chest on it. That's simply Zelda logic. Now, that's not a bombable part of the ceiling, because that would have to have been there in the original. Ah! Sneaky crystal switch, I see you. Chilling down there, being all crystalline. Crystalline long. You'll get that reference if you watched my reaction video to the UK National Final for Eurovision 2016. I'm not going to explain it, even though I should, and I could, I won't, because I'm an arse. Look at me arsing. I'm going to arse all over you. Now, this is a sneaky-ass room, because there's nothing in here. We can see a chest in there, and judging by how important it looks, it must be a key, surely. But this room is actually above the central room, like the maze of doors that I haven't shown off yet, and it's worth our while to have a look around with the lens of truth, because there isn't a map or a compass for in here, so if you're in a room with a treasure chest, you'll just have to find the chest. Look, there's an invisible... Well, there's a bit of floor there that's the opposite of invisible. Like, it looks like it's there, but it actually isn't. You see where I'm pointing on the screen. There's a hole in the floor that we can't normally see. And so we have to work out where that is in the maze below so we can climb up to it. So I'm going to say, if we can see up here, like, if we're in that room down there, and we look at the box, and we can see this room above it, then it's in the room to the left of that. That's important to remember, because I think that's a tricky thing they do in the original as well. You have to remember that room's there, otherwise you won't have enough keys. Or I think in the original, if you use keys in just the right place, you can complete the dungeon without getting all of them. But yeah, I gathered that game. Hey, game, why must you target stupidly? I'm trying to kill the obvious threat in the room that actually don't... Torch slug, will you fuck off? I kind of don't want to... Okay, wow. I kind of don't want to commentate while I'm button mashing, because then I can't cut it out in post. Now, is that all the enemies? Because that was kind of a nuisance. Wow. I don't know what my commentary was for the past couple of moment there. I make no apologies. So there's stuff in here, there are chests. Ah yes, in the original, there are enough keys to go around, obviously. As there are in this version. Like, in this game, you will never have more locked doors than keys. That's a given. That's a principle of the game. But that makes it sound like I'm about to say, oh, but apart from in Master Quest where there's this one exception. But no. So there's one of the keys. If you use them wisely in the original, you can get through the maze without collecting all the keys. In this version, I don't know. I feel like you might need all the keys. No, this isn't where I came from. I would say in the original this was a collect the silver rupees room, but as you can see, this is still a collect the silver rupees room, and I forget. Now there's this rusty switch here, and there's this unlit torch down there, and I forget which one turns off the bits of fire. Because obviously we can't grab the silver rupees while they're on fire, because then we'll get thrown off. Like, we'll take knockback damage, fall into the lava, and that'll reset the room, which will reset the silver rupees, so... It's good that I can access the thing that turns off the fire from anywhere in the room, so then I can... Okay, I was going to ask what that did. That raised a hookshot target on yonder platform. I knew one of the switches activated this, and the other turned off the fire around the silver rupees. I'm glad that it's the torch that activates the silver rupees, because I can hit that from anywhere in the room, because as you can see, it's temporary. But now that we're down here, I don't think we can get back up to that rusted switch, so I'm glad it's this way around. Now, this is one way into that central room. You can see there's a locked door there, and there's another locked door elsewhere. In the original, all of these doors are locked. Like, every door you can see in this room is locked. Now, is this the room I was just talking about? It looks like it. I don't know. See, I did have some sort of visual mnemonic for working out which room it is that has the thing in the ceiling, but we could just check manually, you know? Just look at the ceiling with the lens of truth, and then go up that room to get into the roomy room. As I said, I don't remember how many small keys I need. Oh, there we go. That looks promising. It's a matter of scanning around with the lens of truth. I think it's this next room, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm sorry, I know my commentary's completely incoherent, but... is it in here? Here it is. You wouldn't have any way of knowing this was here unless you went into that other room and were very observant. So here we are. This should be the second key that we need. Hopefully? No. Okay, well, that is a key in the original, I think. Either that, or... I don't know, I seem to recall that chest being the dungeon item. in Master Quest, but clearly it's not. And I say dungeon item, there is a single item in this dungeon, like there's not a map, there's not a compass, there's not a boss key, but there is a dungeon item, and that's what we're trying to get. That's our whole objective here. The whole prize is just to get the dungeon item and then get out. Although getting out isn't a requirement of completing the dungeon, you just have to get in and do the thing. And I believe we're going to need 2 keys to get to it. I could be mistaken, but I'm going for 100% completion anyway. And I have 5 minutes of episode left, so I don't know if I could do it, but this episode can run long if it has to. Oh yeah, red bubbles. Well, fuck you, you didn't hit me. You can go to bed. You can put a sock in your shoe, and then put your shoe in a boot, and then fill that boot with custard, and take it to the moon, where it will set fire to your face. Which makes no sense, because there's no air in space, so nothing can burn. Try telling that to the sun. What was that rant? If that doesn't end up on TV Tropes, I will be slightly disappointed, I'm not going to lie. Wait, hang on. There are 6 silver rupees in here? Son, I am disappointed. Oh, I should have said that a minute ago when I was talking about how the sun can't technically burn in space, even though it can. It's just... I know what I mean! Bloody space combustibles. See, as we've seen, if you're on one of these platforms, or if you take any sort of fire damage at all, you're going to get knocked into the lava, which will then respawn you either in that room that we were just in, or at one of the doors of this room. Either way, it'll reset the silver rupees. And that makes more work for us. They don't need me to tell you why having the room reset is a bad thing. No, no! I'm gonna go around this way this time and hope that I don't fuck it up again. Oh my game, how merciless of you. No! I meant merciful, but then it turned merciless. Well, fuck you! Ooh, feeling rigid. Now, how the fuck am I gonna get back and get that rupee in time? I suspect you can... Well, I could probably get there in time, actually. Just... I think you can hookshot onto these torches, but I can't say that with 100% certainty. Plus, there's... No! Fuck off! What just happened? Wow. Okay. If you can't tell, we're trying to collect these silver rupees to open this door, and I believe, given how hard it is to get these silver rupees, the whole... the other key is probably in there. And I have another strategy here. As long as I don't leave the room, the silver rupees shouldn't respawn. Which means I could theoretically get up here, and then just take that same route again, which means I'm gonna have to go past that bloody red bubble again, but... yeah. Well, actually, no, I think I can get straight to the second platform from here. I don't like this challenge! As long as I can do it before I run out of magic and or arrows, that would be just swell. Also, I can see where I'm going, that would also be preferable. Now, I'm just gonna hookshot from here. I don't trust... Now, I was gonna say, if you tell me now that I can't hookshot to those torches, that would have kind of been a kick in the teeth, and then I would have been all panic stationed, because I don't know whether I would have been able to get back to the platform in time, and... Red bubbles, can you just stop? Like, not even can you just stop? Can you cease thy nonsense and your shenanigans? He says, talking to a skull that's no longer even there. Is this Hamlet? Wait, is that Hamlet? I don't remember now. Which one is it that has the stuff? Talking Shakespeare with Tess. No. SpongeBob SquarePants. Doop-a-dee-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Okay, well, fuck that. Link, just go through the door, please. Thank you. Now. You say gems. They're silver. Oh! Barry, I haven't seen you in literal years. Well, not literal years, but like literal in-game years. I didn't mean to shoot you. I meant to shoot the floor. How much want to bet that because it conducts electricity, I'm going to get shot here? No, that makes no sense then. Why can I not attack these with my sword, but I'm perfectly fine using a completely metal hookshot? I probably shouldn't question it, because, as game theory proved, the hookshot would actually completely dislocate Link's arm. Amongst other things. Well, actually, it would break his arm as well. Anyway, we're going to need to go blah, 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 and there. Zora tunic and iron boots, because there's wetness. And I don't have wetness protection. I don't know what that was meant to be. A pun? Probably not. And I'm rather glad that I have the hookshot equipped, because for some ungodly reason, that's the only weapon you could use underwater. I don't know why that is. That makes no sense. They fixed it in later games. Well, no. They fixed it in Twilight Princess and games thereafter. They didn't fix it in Majora's Mask. Although you had a slightly different mechanism of underwater combat in that game. And Link, will you just fire the hookshot when I tell you to, please? Rather than just standing there like a numpty. Link! Wouldst thou kindly do a cooperating? And now you're trying to say that the hookshot's bouncing off its shielding when its shielding is not present in the first place. I've failed too many times, and now I refuse to acknowledge that I can be blamed for things. I know what I mean. Also, there are currents in this room, so you can't just float around willy-nilly. You might have seen just then, you do still get pushed around a bit even with the iron boots, so... This isn't as hard as I remember it being? Okay, come on. That was bullshit. I call shenanigans, that silver rupee should be mine, and mine alone. Well, just get it from this direction instead, then. Did I... If that's still there, I'm going to be rather upset. What is this? I went right through it, and you're trying to tell me that I didn't collect it. Look at me going right through the silver rupee. Thank you. I suppose the upshot of having to redo that one room several times is... The rupees, like, these silver rupees do still count towards your wallet. But, because they're a required element of a puzzle, you have to... Like, they'll respawn if you don't collect all of them. So you can collect all but one of them, and then... leave the room, come back, and they count towards your money. And... Oh, are there not currents in... I was going to say, are there not currents in this room in Master Quest? Yes, there are. And I would take off the green tunic, but I'd rather wait till I'm at the surface, because... Well, no, I still have a good 5 hours of underwater time, given the number of hearts I have. I'm rambling. And the fact that I'm calling myself out on rambling doesn't make it any more acceptable. I'm sorry, I'm just not the best at Vigima games. Okay, so we have both the keys now. We can get all the way through the middle bit. This dungeon is officially now our bitch. And I'm going to go through this door over here, just to show that if you go back this way, this, I believe, is... Wow, really? I think the game expects you to come in from this direction, because... Oh, I was going to say this is the starting room. It's apparently the second room after the... Once again, I know what I mean, but that's not really good enough. There's a lot of lizardy enemies in here. Wow, no shit, he says. Being beset by Dynalphos and Dodongos. Never would have guessed there's a lot of lizards in here. And the time is still going because there's this fucker up here as well. I noticed. And I was going to say, good, I'm glad I can jump attack you with my sword, because... Part of me thought that you can only defeat those by bombing them, but no. I don't remember how many more chests there are. There are 3 keys in here? What? My mind has been officially blown. I don't remember there being 3 keys. I remember there being 2 keys in here. But whatever, this dungeon is even more a bitch than before, and there we go. We're now back at the start. And certainly in the original, if you came to here, I think? There's somewhere around here where you can play either the Sun Song or the Song of Storms, and it summons a large fairy, and large fairies restore all your health and all your magic, and I'm kind of hurting for that right now. But they might have taken it out for Master Quest, I don't remember. Spoiler alert, playing the Sun Song just resets the day-night cycle so that it's now nighttime instead of daytime, and resets the entire dungeon. No, it wouldn't do that. Although it does remind me, there's apparently, and I wouldn't know because I didn't need a walkthrough from Majora's Mask somehow, but apparently there's a walkthrough from Majora's Mask that erroneously suggests once you get partway through the 3rd dungeon, playing the Song of Time to warp you back to the start of the dungeon. It meant a song that doesn't exist in this game, but the Song of Time resets the entire game, and I'm not going to go into great detail about Majora's Mask, but people who know the game will know that playing the Song of Time kind of fucks with your shit quite a bit in that game, and so all these people getting partway through what is perceived to be a difficult dungeon, only to play the Song of Time and have the entire dungeon reset, because in Majora's Mask you can reset entire dungeons and play them over and over and over again. That's kind of a kick in the teeth, and I believe that was a Prima strategy guide, and I've mentioned before how shit they are, but this was one that didn't affect me. Look at all this money we can't even hold. And now we get to finally use a key. Now, I remember playing through this dungeon the first time, and getting to the middle of this maze, and in the original, the middle of this maze, once you use up all the keys, that's where the dungeon item is, and then you could say you're done. Obviously, with all this build-up, it's not going to be that in Master Quest, but I remember Master Quest, the dungeon item, being in that that 50 rupees in that chest that I pointed out before. But apparently our prize is a rusty switch instead, so... I don't know, I remember in the remake not needing the keys at all and just going to that hidden room and getting it from there, but no. There we go, that's why I was misremembering. Remember that room? That was the room that we were in where I said there was nothing in there. But that's how we discovered the secret room that I was just talking about. So, now we actually... That's the dungeon item. I did all this in one episode. It's run on slightly long, I know, but that's partly because I kept fucking up that bit with the silver rupees, and I don't even know what the quality of my commentary has been throughout all this, because I cannot brain today. I just have the dumb. But, overall, I'm actually quite happy with how this went, apart from some shenanigans. Because I thought this would take 2 episodes, I thought this would be harder than it was, but in the end it just seemed to be very, very Master Quest. And ultimately no one is surprised by this. And where's that? Here it is. I was gonna say, where's that other chest? Yeah. Do pardon me. Why are you saying loser? You didn't say that before. I think you said it before once, but still. I was going to say, wait, where's the rest of this maze? I want to get to I want to go and claim our prize, but of course it's not bloody in there, is it? Oh. There isn't a hookshot target over there. See you in a moment. Oh god, they're making me play the Song of Time again. Well, I'm gonna keep this... In fact, you know what, I'll just carry on recording from here, honestly. I would say I'll just leave this clip in to prove it, you know, posterity and the counter and all that, but might as well just come clean. Yep, I had to play the Song of Time again, and carry on recording from here because we're nearly at our destination. And funnily enough, I didn't need that fairy at all. So my entire reasoning for doing this dungeon now is partly because it's halfway in between the last dungeon and the next one, and partly, oh well, I have 2 fairies and I'm going to need bottles for the next side quest, so I didn't even need to get more blue fire. What the hell is wrong with me? Well, we've finished exactly how we've started, with 2 fairies and an empty bottle, although I'm going to keep the blue... Nope, you know what? I'm going to pour the blue fire on this red fire and end the universe, and this chest is entirely in the way. Like, completely ruined the moment. Hey. Okay, so we're exactly how we started, with an empty bottle and 2 fairies, but through it all, we've got our wallet back up to the maximum, and we get a prize for it as well. And what could the prize be? Da-da-da-da, the most useless item in the game. Ice arrows. Completely useless in this game. Well, they do still work. You can shoot enemies with them, they'll freeze. But they do, I think, the same amount of damage as a fire arrow, if not less. They can freeze enemies, but they're kind of recognized by the fan community as the most useless item in the game. Far and away. But, I mean, we have the bragging rights of having it, so... You know, it could be worse for wear. And we're back into this room again, and pardon me while I just scoot through it. I don't know why I'm still commentating, I could just end the episode, but I did say before, you know, getting out of the dungeon, not a requirement to beat the dungeon, because we've got the dungeon item now, we have no reason to stay around in here, but I'm going to leave just to show what it looks like to leave this dungeon? I don't know. Just proving that I'm getting out legitimately, and I did this in one episode, and this went surprisingly well. Not the best, but rather well. So, in the next episode, we will do the horse shenanigans that I promised in the previous episode, and make more progress, well, not story progress, but like side-hoe progress, and that's it, we're done here now. Plus, we now have that marker on our map for all eternity saying that yes, there was a dungeon here and we defeated it. So, I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons. In the next episode, side faff, but we'll return to regularly scheduled Master Quest story progress content very soon, give it about a week. See you next time.